These spicy egg burritos will give you 1 week's worth of breakfast in about 45 minutes, and they are very easy to make. To start things off, prepare a bowl in cracking 10 whole eggs. Now, on average, every egg weighs about 50 grams and has roughly 75 calories, so if you want to save a bit of calories, you could also swap out 5 of these eggs for 250 grams of pure egg whites. That will work perfectly fine as well. For the seasoning, add in 2 pinches of salt, a good amount of freshly cracked black pepper, about 25 cranks or so, and then an ingredient you might not know yet, which is cornstarch. Just 1 teaspoon or about 4 grams is enough. Add it into a glass with a small splash of water and mix it into a slurry before adding it to the eggs. And the cornstarch will make the eggs a lot softer and also juicier. I highly recommend doing this. After that, go in with a whisk, give it a good stir and set it aside. Next up is 500 grams of extra lean ground beef. This has only 5% fat. That's the reason the color of the meat is deeply red, and it results in about half the calories compared to regular ground beef. The main ingredient to season the meat is this red paste here. It's called gochujang. It's a staple in the Korean cuisine and it's ridiculously flavorful. You can find this in most Asian grocery stores. Add 40 grams of this into a glass along with 30 grams of soy sauce and 20 grams of honey, and then give this a good mix. This tastes incredible in combination with ground meat. Let's move on to the cheese, and here I have 100 grams of cheddar. Now, I always bought pre-shredded cheese because it's just more convenient, and that is also totally fine here. However, I tried buying a cheese block once and grating it myself, and it's actually crazy how much of a difference it makes, not only in flavor but also in how it melts. Pre-shredded cheese often contains cellulose, which prevents the pieces from sticking together in the bag, and that makes quite a difference. I couldn't believe it until I tried it myself, so I highly recommend buying a cheese block, cutting off a 100 gram piece and grating it yourself with a box grater. So let's get cooking. Heat up a pan to medium-high heat, add in 15 grams of oil and then the ground beef. I like to wait before breaking up the meat and let it sear for about a minute instead so it can properly brown. For seasoning, I will only add freshly cracked black pepper and 1 teaspoon of 4 grams of garlic powder. Everything else will come from the sauce we just prepared. Then flip everything, let it sear for another minute and then break it up with a spatula. After about 4 minutes in total, add in the sauce. This doesn't need to cook for long, just stir everything for 20 to 30 seconds until all pieces of meat are covered and the meat has this brown reddish color. Remove the meat from the pan and let it sit on the counter for a bit to cool down. You don't want to wrap steaming food into tortillas because that will make them soggy. Clean up the pan, return it to the stove, and now add in 15 grams of butter. Of course, you can also stick to 15 grams of oil if you want. Once the butter is melted, add in the eggs and slowly cook them for about 5 to 6 minutes in total, stirring every 30 seconds or so. And once you have a full pan of scrambled eggs, remove and let them cool down for the same reason as the meat. While the meat and eggs are cooling down, you can prepare a sauce, and for this you will need a blender or a food processor. Place it on a scale and add in 10 grams of fresh basil, 10 grams of fresh mint, 200 grams of plain skyr or alternatively Greek yogurt. They have similar taste and macros, 15 grams of olive oil, a pinch of salt, the juice of 1 lime, and finally 10 grams of mustard. Close the container and blend everything for about 60 seconds until you get this nice green color. You can then store it in one of these squeeze bottles. They're super cheap. I bought mine from Amazon, and you can store it in the fridge for up to a week. So for this recipe, you can either use 5 large or 8 medium tortillas. Personally, I like to wrap everything into 8 medium-sized tortillas as it makes the macros a bit better. On top of that, my grocery store sells these protein tortillas with 120 calories and 7 grams of protein, which is pretty good. Lay out all your tortillas on the table and distribute the meat, eggs, and cheese evenly across all of them. I don't measure this exactly, I just eyeball it. Yes, the calories in each burrito will vary slightly, but at the end of the week, it balances itself out. Same goes for the sauce. 1 squeezer is about 10 calories. To wrap them, first prepare 1 piece of parchment paper, place the tortilla on top and tuck in both sides towards the center. Then roll it into a burrito shape and at the end tuck in the sides once again to fully close it and then wrap it tightly in parchment paper and repeat with all the burritos. Finally, I recommend placing the burritos into a meal prep container before storing them in the fridge. That way the food in your fridge won't smell like a burrito. To reheat them, simply microwave for 1 minute or use the air fryer for about 4 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 F, and this is the result. It's savory, it's cheesy, and really delicious. The macros for a medium burrito are 380 calories and 33 grams of protein. The large one would come in at 594 calories and 45 grams of protein. If you like this recipe, you need to check out my cookbook that helped over 10,000 people lose weight and keep it off. It's packed with over 250 recipes that are all specifically designed to help you lose weight while not even thinking about being on a diet. The best part is that I will constantly be updating the book with new recipes, and you get all updates for free once you've purchased it. The book has a rating of 4.9 out of 5. It can truly change your life. The link is in the description.